And now I'm inviting our distinguished guest from again distance. He is Professor Ranit Professor Ranit Chatterjee. He has a PhD in Environment Management from Graduate School of Global Environmental Studies, Kyoto University, Japan. He does research on climate change, adaptation, disaster risk reduction, recovery, and resilience. His current engagement is as JST postdoctoral fellow research on transformation to sustainability in marginal environment, and we are pleased to have him on our panel of guest of honors. So, over to you, Professor Chatterjee from Japan, please.
Namaskar. A very good evening from Japan. It's already evening in Japan, but I'm sure it's good afternoon for in India. And thank you, Dr. Sharma, for inviting me to this panel. I'm actually very honored and thrilled to share the platform with very distinguished guests and panelists, many of whom I have been looking up to when I started my career in disaster management. Uh, I often introduce myself as an architect who sold his Suzuki. In similar lines with I might have read about the monk who sold his Ferrari. I used to be an architect who changed his profession, got into disaster management. I started moved from private sector to academics, and I thought that this is an area which actually has a lot of opportunity and a lot of scope for the future. And as in the present phase, when we are trying to manage the COVID-19 pandemic, I guess the perception of disaster management also has changed in the people's mind. And that is a very important change that has been brought. One of the very important change that has happened in India is the 2005 Disaster Management Act was made. Like, it's already 15 years that it had been made, but it was never implemented. This COVID-19 pandemic actually was the first time that the Disaster Management Act got implemented, and people came to know that there's a Disaster Management Act. And I'm sure by now all the people in the audience would agree that the COVID-19 pandemic is no longer a medical emergency. It has gone beyond the capacity of just medical professionals and have cut across different sectors and require expertise from different sectors to come in and chip in their expertise to manage it. So in this respect, what I would do today is try to focus on what are the challenges the academia is facing because of the COVID-19, and then what are the scopes where academia can come in, and giving you some examples of some practical experiences we have been engaged in. And we would look forward to how we can augment IIRD's very exciting work that I have seen in the earlier video that Dr. Sharma has shown. And we would be happy to reach out in managing this situation. I'm sure this situation, though the COVID-19, we are looking at around 200 vaccine candidates, but the long-term effect would stay beyond this period when the vaccine is out in the market and people start getting vaccinated, because the economic and the social repercussions of this would be much longer, and it would take much longer time. So I'm sure that there would be many opportunities coming up to support different initiatives. Coming to the impact of COVID-19 pandemic on academia, me being Indian Indian national who is right now in Japan, I have been interacting with the Indian students who come to Japan for their PhD or masters, and one of the major impact was that people who were graduating, a lot of people actually graduate during this March and April, and you would realize that that is when it started to affect India mainly. Other countries, it was already affecting. So people who were the students who were graduating, they could not go back. They had to stay back in Japan or also in other countries. And it was very difficult to actually sustain their life after the scholarships ended. Also, the second impact was because of COVID-19, the field works have stopped in academia. The recruitments have gone down. People who have got scholarships are stuck in their home countries. They cannot travel because of the travel ban. These are some of the negative impacts. But having said that, disaster always brings in new opportunities and I guess this is also has been iterated by other panelists earlier. And there are certain bright spots which can be taken up as an opportunity in the coming months or years. One of them is disaster management has changed the perception of the importance of disaster management itself. That's a topic. I guess once this pandemic is over, at least in the physical terms, but there would be a long-lasting impact on the research and funding that would come in, and there would be many more researches which will originate, and I guess the students can take advantage of that. I have already seen that many new funding opportunities have come up, specifically looking at how to use disruptive technologies, how to use social innovation in disaster management or managing pandemics. So I'm sure that in future such opportunities will generate more. And I guess it is important that students take it up as a research topic. The second opportunity I see here is to link academia and industry and try to see that how these kind of disaster management issues can be brought into more local level solutions. And one of the things that we have started supported by the Dainik Jagran, Professor Dwivedi is here, and also some other organizations. We are doing a social innovation hackathon with IITs and NITs and some Japanese universities, and we are trying to see that if students actually can just not look for livelihood options, but in turn try to generate livelihood. I guess that is a game changer that we are looking at. So we should not look just for livelihood options that people should give us employment, but we should be able to generate our own employment. So that is the second opportunity that I would like to focus. The third is there would be a lot of data needed, and I think promoting research and supporting it through scholarship is very important. As we are still struggling to understand the whole gamut of issues related to COVID-19 pandemic, I guess in future there would be a lot of research needed for data generation, innovation in this field, what new could be done, and also how various science and technology can be brought in. And I guess there lies a very important aspect of funding and also bringing in the policymakers to support such kind of researches. And this is also useful in connecting it back to their own policymaking process, where they would need ground level evidences to make policies. Policies, unless they are having evidences, they would not be able to cater to a wide range of audience. So I won't take much of your time. And I guess these discussions we can continue further, but I just wanted to kind of raise these issues. And thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Ranit, for sharing your thoughts of enlightenment. You threw light on the academic perspective of the today's theme. The theme is pandemic and alternative livelihood. Thank you very much for contributing a line from Japan, and we look forward to have linkages with you in time to come and establish some relationship to work on mutual basis to contribute more towards the humanity, because you being a person of disaster management. So thank you very much for joining today with us.